Welcome to the Blytheweigh Business News. It gives me great pleasure to reintroduce Mr. Andy Warne. He is the Managing Director of the National Milk Records PLC, and he's an avid rugby man. Andy, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Okay, give me a quick recap, please. What exactly is the National Milk Records?
So National Milk Records, clue is in the name. So we're obviously involved in the dairy industry. We have three sets of customers. We deal with the farmers, the milk buyers, and the retailers. So for the farmers, we have a database of half the cows in the UK. So we would know them by name, number. We would know their parents and grandparents, their health status, and we record the yield of milk for each of those cows, and that allows the farmer to choose the right cow families and improve the genetic worth of his herd. We deal with all of the milk buyers, so that's the Arlas, Mullers, Dairy Crests, and as part of that business we would receive a sample of milk from every dairy farm every day, and then that spins out into the retailers. So we deal with Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, and they will use our data to provide the provenance within their milk supply chain. So they want to know which cows are within their supply chain. Are the cows healthy? Are the cows productive? So we deal with all the aspects of the UK dairy supply chain, and give you some sort of idea of the scale of it. We're testing 30,000 samples of milk every day.
Okay, so you came on earlier in the year. Your market cap was 20 million. I think you're up to 24 million. You've just had a full set of numbers. What were the highlights?
Well, lots of highlights. Turnover's going up, which is the most interesting thing. But then that's driving because we're managing the business well. So the profit is going up. The EBITDA is going up. So that's generating cash. We're investing in the business. We are paying down our debt, and we're actually proposing a dividend. So the business is being successful if you stand back and look at the numbers. But to me, the most interesting thing about that is that we're actually on budget. So our EBITDA is within £5,000 of what we said it would be at the beginning of the year. So we have a growth plan, and yes, this is the first year. The numbers look fine, but the whole thing is we want to grow from here. So we have a plan for the next 3 years in which we're executing now, and we're very confident going forward. So yes, the numbers look great because everything's going up, but it's just the first year, and we want to see more.
So in terms of the dividend, is this your first dividend, and what's the sort of thought process behind that?
So I think the dividends is interesting because we have a very strong board. We have a very good quality of non-exec director who are very much bought into the plan, and so I think the fact that we're proposing a dividend just gives you some sort of idea of the confidence that we have with our business, and that we understand the money we need for investment. We understand our tax position. We know what we're doing going forward, and so we have a very good idea of what is genuine free cash in the business. And as far as we're concerned, if there is free cash and we're investing and we have the funds and resources we need to execute our growth plans, then that free cash belongs to the shareholders.
Right.
So it's not our first dividend. If you go back in time, many years ago, then we did pay a dividend then. But in terms of the new business, the business outside of the Milk Pension Fund, this is our first dividend.
Right, very good. So in terms of the last 12 months, what have been the key highlights?
So we're very much sort of sorting out the knitting, if you like. So we're investing in the business in terms of we're investing in new laboratory equipment. We've got a project to replace the ERP system within the business, and we're another software system we're replacing is the LIMS system, which is the Laboratory Information Management System. So we're, if you like, building the springboard to grow more. To a certain extent, our ability to grow has been held back by legacy IT systems, And as we start to invest in those in those systems and renew them, that gives us the capability and the versatility to grow going forward. So to a certain extent, you could say this year has been a consolidation. When you're testing 30,000 samples of milk every day, from an operational point of view, there's always a lot going on. But we are building the capability to grow the business further.
Understood. Now, in terms of the dairy industry itself, is it in good health? And part two of that question, dare I say the dreaded Brexit? Okay,
Yeah.
Is that panic stations for you?
So is the dairy health? So when we were here before, we were talking about the dairy industry. We were saying that the milk price was very low, people under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
The milk price has recovered. So in general terms, the dairy industry is in a lot better shape than it was 12 months ago. I don't think takes the managing director of NMR to come and tell you that it's been a very dry summer. So there's been a degree of pressure within the dairy sector simply because there's been no grass for the cows to eat. But the resilience of the dairy sector is now demonstrated in that there hasn't been a shortage of milk and people have adjusted to that. When you get through to Brexit, Brexit is mildly positive for us in the dairy industry. We're a net importer of dairy products. Obviously, you can't import liquid milk simply because physically it's nearly impossible to do that. But you can import cheese, you can import butter, and so as the dairy sector, as the pound weakens, we think that will be an advantage. And all of the milk buyers, so Muller, Arla, are investing in UK. Those are all European companies, and they're investing a disproportionate amount of their funds in the UK. Simply because they see this as a good place to produce milk products. So I don't know what's going to happen with Brexit. Yep. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Brexit, but it's certainly not something to worry about. If anything, it's going to be mildly positive.
Understood. In terms of the next 12 months, obviously it's very difficult to predict what's going to go on in the world, but what can you see in the next 12 months? And part two of that question, can you give me 3 reasons why I should consider having your shares in my portfolio?
Okay. Well, 12 months, I think the good thing for investors to realise is that the next 12 months will be more of the same for us. So that's another 30,000 samples of milk every day. But we're testing for different things. The pressures on milk buyers from the consumers for looking at antibiotics, for looking at diseases are always there. So us doing the same, we grow with our customers because there's more and more demands on our customers. 3 things, only 3?
Only 3.
Only 3. So three things why you should invest in NMR. Well, dividend, organic growth, and stepwise change. As I say with the dividend, we understand what free cash looks like. We believe if there's free cash in the business, it belongs to the shareholders. So, but at the same time, we're investing for both organic growth, and we have one eye on some sort of stepwise change. We have investors who are confident in our business, and they gain their confidence as we improve our business performance. So our ability to raise funds and look at something going forward is there. So we're kind of a bit dull and exciting at the same time. So we're a bit dull in that we're improving the overall running rate within the business all of the time, but we've got that one eye on, let's look at something a little bit more interesting.
Well, Mr. Warren Buffett has always said he's into very basic stuff, okay?
Dull stuff,
straightforward dividends, cash flow and everything.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're on the right path. Right, on that note, we've run out of time, Andy. Always nice to see you.
Thank you
we'll
very
see
much.
In 6 months' time with a bit of luck.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great.